Why, hello there. Good meowing, good afternoon, or good evening. Whatever time it is for you, thank you so much for stopping by, and welcome to tonight's stream. Yeah, more toe beans, so many toe beans. But yeah, it's time for some more Paradigm Paradox. Time for us to romance the tsundere man with a gun. That's gonna go over well. Da, 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 da. All right, so let's pop over here. Hello, 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 it's me.
Oh no, I have an itch. Oh no.
Oh. It was like, I'm gonna wait until you said your opening, and then I'm gonna itch. And I was like, can we not? But yes. Welcome back. Paradigm Paradox. That's right. We were going out with Hyuga with some vectors who were heading to Theta, and they're gonna fuck shit up. And we were like, can you not fuck shit up? And Hugo was like, well, I'm not gonna tell him no. And we were like, well, okay, we'll come with you, I guess. I don't know why we said we'll come with him, but that's where we're doing. That's where we're doing. That's where we're going. So yes. All right. Hugo and the vectors began sprinting as soon as they got outside, so I picked up the pace too. Hugo shot me a warning look as I ran behind him, but he remained silent. As I struggled to keep up, I worried about Lise. Was it all right for me to leave Lise behind? I shouldn't go too far away, even if I intend to return as soon as possible. But it was too late to turn back now. I didn't want to lose sight of Hugo and the vectors. I had no choice but to keep going. I'm sorry, Lise. I know you'll worry about me, but I swear I'll be back soon. Please wait for me. With that internal apology to Lise, I refocused on keeping up with Hugo. After running a bit longer, I started to hear a noise building up behind us. What's that sound? Oh. They're in excellent form today. I turned at Hugo's suggestion and saw one of the vectors galloping madly towards us. Huh? Did you order this vector to follow us too? Let me turn it up just a smidgen anymore. He's attracted to my presence. I'm attracting you? What do you mean? Oh. Oh. Does that mean vectors are attracted to humans? Is that why they attack Theta? It was a fascinating line of thought, but hard to mull over when being charged by a vector. I hurriedly changed mental gears. Right, I just have to do what Moravia said.
Hello.
Stay back. But the charging vector didn't miss a beat and continued barreling on. What? But the other vector listened to me! Hugo snorted with amusement at my visible fluster.
Hi, General! Wow, it's a tick. Hello, everybody.
Hello. We're running.
Blink, 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 blink.
We're running with Hugo and some vectors to Theta, and we tried to make a vector stop, and it didn't work. It didn't work. What? Oh. Well.
このコロニーにいる害獣相手なら今みたいにやればいいよ。
She didn't not tell us, but she didn't tell us.
ただし、外にいる害獣については保証しないけどね。
She did. Oh yeah, are you feeling better, Pudding?
あいつはお前にくっついてきたんだ。止めたいならお前がどうにかするんだな。
It was today. I saw it today. I saw it at like noon. With my Earth family. It was good. It was actually really good. My Earth mom and dad know like jack shit about FNAF. But they both enjoyed the movie. My Earth dad was slightly worried that it was going to be like actual horror movie. And I was like, it's PG-13. It's like, it's not going to be that terrible. And it really wasn't. Not a lot, but there was like a whole row behind us. The theater was mostly empty. There was a whole row of kids behind us that were behaving badly. So that was a little annoying. But the movie was good enough that I kind of stopped caring once it started. It did a really good job of building suspense without being like ham-fisted. Oh no! I hope you feel better soon. Yeah, it did a good job of building suspense without being ham-fisted. And it wasn't terribly scary. I was worried that there's gonna be a lot of jump scares. There were 3. Yeah, head pat chat. I'll look into it. There were only 3 jump scares. They were more or less played for laughs more than anything. And one was an after credits, like mid credits scene. So yeah, I enjoyed it. It wasn't super gory. It wasn't super scary. It was more suspenseful than anything. And yeah, it was a good movie. I would watch it again. I like in theaters, no, but I would watch it again. Which I think is a pretty good sign of a movie. There's been some movies that I walked out of and I was like, I never want to see that again. So yeah. All in all, an enjoyable experience. Oh god. With that, Hugo dashed on ahead. I was at a loss. I had no choice but to prepare to face off against the Vector. But I don't want to beat it up like I did to the Vectors back in Theta. I could see Tao's Vectors in my mind, peacefully napping and sunbathing. Yeah. Oh, I send you lots of healing vibes. I hope you feel better soon. And a blessed hiccup. I have to attack despite my hesitance. I need to make it turn back, or I'll try to be as gentle as possible. I hesitated for a second. No, that's not what I want. Okay, we want to do this. We want to attack no matter what. We don't want to be nice to them. We want to be strong mentally. I hesitated for a second before unleashing a burst of psychokinetic energy at the Vector. Oh, speaking of lots of hydration, I'm just gonna talk for a moment. I did make my Gatorade Jello. I made my Gatorade Jello today. I had a little bit of it right before stream, actually. It's weird. I don't know what I was expecting. Like, Gatorade still has like a fair bit of flavor with it, but the Gatorade Jello is almost like no flavor. It's almost like La Croix levels of flavor. Yeah, it's been the only other time La Croix, yeah, La Croix. Look, my Earth Mother speaks French. If I walked into her house and said LaCroix, she would kill me. she would kill me. So I've just gotten used to saying LaCroix. Yeah, it's almost like Gatorade by itself is a little like salty sweet, with all like the stuffs in it. So the Jello is like salty, slightly salty Jello with like a hint of lemon. And I mean like a hint, like a lemon breathed in its general direction. So yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. It also looks like I have just fucking radioactive piss in my fridge. Looks like I have radioactive piss jello, and I gotta say, not an attractive look. Not an attractive look. But yeah, so I have Gatorade jello in my fridge. We'll see how long it takes me to get through it. The last time I made jello, I made wine gummies. And I don't know why I thought it would make a wine that I didn't like 100% like any better. So I ended up having to like choke down the wine gummies, which is not something you ever want to say. But yeah, I also realized that was I made wine gummies before I got COVID. And then when I got COVID, I was like, wow, the wine gummies don't taste as bad anymore. Prince, that was you losing your sense of taste. Yeah. Yeah. it was yeah, wine gummies and Takis are how I figured out that I didn't have my sense of taste anymore. What a weird combination. Yes, it faltered for a bit. The Vector slammed on the brakes, surprised. I unleashed another small burst of psychokinesis to make sure it got the message. Please, turn back! I don't know if my message got across or if it was intimidated by the blasts, but the Vector seemed to calm down. Whatever it was, it worked. That's what counted. But yeah, I used rosé. I used rosé from my wine gummies, and I didn't quite like rosé. I'm more of a pink Moscato person myself. I like Moscato. I'm so glad I didn't have to really hurt it. The Vector gave me a sad look before it turned and headed back towards Tao. I watched it lumber on its way before continuing my own journey. Yikes, that took a lot of time. I need to hustle if I want to catch up to Hyuga. I dashed off in the direction Hyuga went. That was a long moment of silence. Yeah, it was like... I've never actually had a red wine. I've only ever had white wines because everybody that I've like tried alcohol with knew me and were like, you want something sweet? And I was like, yes. Yeah, I don't know if like pink Moscato counts as red. It's like pink. It's pinky. But yeah, I'm not a big wine person. I'm not a big alcohol person at all. It's always funny when you have to do doctor's intakes. They're like, how many times do you drink alcohol? And the option is like, never, monthly, weekly, every day. And I'm like, is there an option for once in a blue moon? Because it's not never, but it's not monthly. Whatever. After running for a while, I noticed an odd dust cloud in the distance. There! That's gotta be Hyuga and the Vectors. Oh yeah, it is. I'm also not a beer person at all. I've had like 2 beers. One I could stomach-ish, and the other I hated. And both of them were not beer. They were like juice beers. I'd caught them before they reached Theta. I upped my speed a notch and drew up alongside Hyuga. Hyuga seemed to sense I was coming up behind him, but he said nothing. His gaze was fixed solely on our destination as we ran. The wild look in his eyes made me tense up. How can you make that kind of face? Why are you so excited about this? I recalled my suspicions from earlier. Hyuga said that the Vectors are attracted to me because I still resemble a human. But if Vectors are drawn to humans, then maybe Hyuga's also drawn to them? Hyuga, why do you go after humans like this? What's your reason? Hyuga suddenly stopped running, and I came to a hasty halt as well. Why'd we stop? The Vectors who were running with us all seemed to notice that Hyuga has stopped. They joined us, waiting for his next move. I was prepared for him to ignore me, but he stopped so suddenly. Is he gonna answer me? No, I don't think so. I think he's more Vector than human. I held my breath as I looked into his eyes, and saw Hyuga match my gaze with a look of pure hatred. Those eyes. Hyuga's eyes clearly said I was no better than any other human, all of whom he loathed. Shibbity Christmas, that's a face. That's a face. Whew. My knees started to tremble as I bore the brunt of Hyuga's quiet rage. No, I can't give in to fear. If I want to know more about the Vectors, I need to learn more about Hyuga too. I need to stop Hyuga no matter what it takes. I need to get through to him right now. I summoned my courage and took my best shot. If you can convince me your reason for attacking humans is valid, I'll accompany you. What? What? I mean, I guess? Yeah, we do love a murderous tsundere here. I was serious. Regardless of whether I was capable of joining him, I wanted to be on his side. Do we? Do we? Do we though?
口先だけなら何とでも言える。お前にそんなことができるわけがない。
Yeah, true. He clearly had no intention of taking me seriously. But I wasn't about to back down. While I thought about my next move, Hyuga spoke again, his voice laced with sarcasm. Yeah, true.
お前はさっき人間が人間を助けるのに理由はいらないとかほざいてたな。だが、どの人間も同じように考えるとでも思うか？
Well, no.
考えてもみろ。人間同士で争ったり、欺いたり、憎しみ合うのはなぜだ？それは人間がそういう生き物だからだ。常に自分が上に立つために弱者を探し、優越感に浸りたがる。平気で他人を利用し、簡単に見捨てる。
Yep. Like, what do you want me to say? That's just true. Like that whole sentence, those two sentences are just true.
他人を助けようなんてのは自己満足のためだ。
Oh.
俺はそんな人間が憎い。
Oh.
だから殺す。
Oh.
それ以外の理由なんて
Yeah.
どこに必要だ？
Definitely us as high schoolers are top of the fucking food chain. That we are. Hyuga? I couldn't help but wince as Hyuga spoke. He talks about this in a pretty specific way. Is he speaking from his own experiences? I thought back to what happened while we were transporting Lise from Theta to Tau. Hyuga, Moravia, and Yukinami, did they all become part Vector the same way Lise did? I'm sure I'm right. Hyuga severely mistrusts humans. It's because he was betrayed by humans in the past, wasn't he? Ding, 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 ding. That's right. Ooh, yeah, I want to see those. I spoke my thoughts out loud. Could it be that you were once a regular human that changed, just like Lise? If what happened to Lise also happened to you, then it's no surprise you hate humans. The researchers who just wanted Lise, the researchers who just watched as Lise turned, the commander who knew everything but still took Lise away from me. The authorities who knew that the Vectors were humans once but still conspired to make the Blooms fight them. They can't get away with this. I felt a black cloud of emotion billow up inside of me. Oh. Okay. Well, the black cloud billowing up inside of me was my throat making a silly noise. It's not that I believed all humans were bad, but there was a lot of truth to Hyuga's description of human nature. Won't you tell me about what happened to you? I feel like listening to you might also help me sort out some complicated feelings of my own. Hyuga pierced me with his eyes. It felt like he was sizing up my sincerity. Then he spoke.
ああ、そうだ。
Hey!
俺はもともと人間だった。
Back story time. This seems a little early, but backstory time. All right. Where are we anyway? We're only 2-2. Okay. Okay. I knew it, but I'm surprised he's actually telling me. It's never too early for a trauma dump, yeah. My spirits lifted a bit as I listened to Hyuga's story.
人間だった頃はシータで環境に関する研究が専門の研究者をしていた。ある時俺は同僚たちと一緒にコロニーの外へ調査に出かけることになった。
So, like, how old is Hyuga, though? Because if he was... How long has he been a Vector?
危険な外に行くのは気が進まな
You
かった
and I
が
both had the
当
same
時の俺
thought.
はビビリでな。強く反対もできず
Yeah.
半ば無理やり連れて行かれちまった。
Well, we know for certain that the age difference between the protagonist and Izumi is like 10 plus years ish. And that's me simply going by he remembers talking to her. He was there for the whole time. Like he knew her parents, was friends with her parents, and like met her as a baby. Like to remember all of that, to be kind of, you have to be at least old enough for your memory, to long-term memory, to be like in play.
あれはそんな外での調査をビクビクしながらやっていた時のことだ。
Yeah. Uh-huh.
おい、こっちの土壌サンプルの採取は終わったぞ。そっちはどうだ？こっちも完了だ。って、お前まだ終わってないのかよ。
すみません、すみません。すぐに終わらせます。
That's a completely different Hyuga.
まったく使えないやつだな。もっと要領よく作業できないのか。
What? Well then.
多少頭の出来が良くたってそれだけじゃ研究者は務まらないんだからな。
Yeah, Hyuga is a pathetic little meow meow.
はい。
外の環境調査に行くと決まった時もこいつかなり腰が引けてたよな。こうして最新型の防護服も着込んでるのに何をそんなに怖がるんだか。
The suits are gonna malfunction.
まあ根っからのビビリってことだろ。さて、ここら辺のサンプルはあらかた採取し終わったな。今日はどうせならあっちの方まで調査に行ってみないか？おお、いいな。
でも予定ではこのエリアまでの調査だったはずでは。
もう少し遠くに行くってだけの話だろ。そんなの誤差の範囲じゃないか。
この辺りは比較的安全とされています。しかしあっちの方まで行ったらどんな危険があるか。
そんなに嫌だったらお前一人で帰れよ。まあその時はお前が仕事もせずにサボっていたって上に報告するがな。
Oh, well, that's rude.
そんな。
ほら、グズグズしてないでさっさと行くぞ。早くしないと帰りの分の酸素が足りなくなるからな。
Yikes. Yikes.
こっちの方も特に変わったところはないな。期待外れだ。
あれ？
何か見つけたのか？
はい。今あそこの物陰で何か動いたような。
Vectors.
まさか新種の生き物か？だとしたら俺たち大発見だぞ。
Oh no.
不用意に近づいては危険じゃ。
Well, okay, well, Hyuga's actually really right in the right
大
here.
丈夫だってビビるなよ。
Yeah.
なんだあの化け物は。
逃げろー！早く逃げろー！
Well, that's some great voice acting there, sir.
待ってください。
Uh-oh.
お前は時間を稼げ。
What? No. He spoke a couple other times before, but... Oh. Yikes.
俺の同僚は自分が助かるために俺を害獣に向かって突き飛ばした。
Yikes.
時間稼ぎの餌にしようとしたんだ。
Yeah, you know, actually understandable that you hate humans. That's a trauma response, baby.
害獣の前に倒れ込んだ俺は攻撃をもろに食らい、その弾みで遠くに吹っ飛ばされた。
Eef.
おかげで害獣の視界から外れて、それ以上の攻撃は受けずに済んだがな。
Yeah, luckily it threw you.
害獣は逃げた同僚どもを追っていった。
Uh-huh. Excuse me. Hyuga's mouth twisted as he spoke about the past. His voice was steady, but it was coated with a steely edge of resentment. Oh, blessings. What a terrible turn of events. No wonder Hyuga holds a grudge against humanity.
あいつらは倒れた俺を振り向きもせず逃げ去った。だが当時は俺もまだ甘かった。助けが来るものだと信じていた。
Oh.
傷の痛みに耐えながら助けを待ったが、一向に救助は来ない。
Oh.
おかしいだろ。我先にと逃げたあいつらが一人もシータにたどり着けなかったとは思えねえ。つまりあいつらは恋に俺の救助を要請しなかったんだ。俺が死ねばいいと思ったんだよ。
Yeah, same. I was thinking it would be like he hid and everyone else got fucking got, but no, he was the one who got got. That's hearing Hyuga's story was so heart-wrenching. I unconsciously clenched my fists.
害獣の攻撃で傷を負い、防護服も破れ、ただの人間だった俺は絶望の中で死を待つしかなかった。そんな時だ、助けが現れたのは。
Is it Izumi?
誰かいるのか。
うおー、
Oh, Yukinami.
こんなとこに落ちてるなんて珍しい。落ちてるってことは僕が拾ってもいいってことだよね。
What?
なんかボロボロで死にそうだけど、
Huh?
この感じだと怪獣に襲われたのかな。
Yeah. I think, if I remember correctly, Yukinami was also part of the genetic experiments that Izumi was.
こいつを拾って帰ったらモラビアは勝っていいって言うかな。
So he had like no socialization as a child other than with other experiments.
何でもいい。助けて。
Well. Goodness gracious.
ここは。
あ、気がついた？君死ななくて運が良かったね。
Glad you didn't die.
はじめまして。そしておめでとう。今日から君は僕たちの仲間だ。
仲間？あんたたちは。
僕は雪並み、こっちはモラビア。君も僕たちと同じ害獣になったんだ。
Oh,
害獣っ
yay!
てわかる？君を襲ったやつだよ。
Thanks, Yukinami. That's a great way of describing that.
いや、でもあの化け物は外見がもっと。
外見があまり人間と変わらず、理性を持ったままの害獣も中にはいるんだよ。僕たちのような、ね。
Oh, okie dokies.
僕から作った抗体の投与が間に合ったから、君は害獣として一命を取り留めたんだ。うまく適合したのは君自身の素質だね。
We've talked about antibodies like twice now. Yeah, she could just do that? I thought it was something that was special about us.
死にかけだった君を僕がここまで連れてきてあげて、モラビアに助けてもらったんだ。感謝してよね。あ、僕が拾ったんだから、今日から君は僕のペットね。
は？
ペット？いや、何を言っているのかよくわからないんだが。
そんで僕は君の飼い主。
What?
一度ペット飼ってみたかったんだ。
Yukinami. What?
話を聞かないやつだな。
Huh?
だが、あんたたちが命の恩人ってことだけは分かった。
Uh-huh.
俺を裏切った奴らよりはよっぽどまっとうそうだ。
I guess. That's like, that would make sense.
瀕死だった俺は雪並みに救われた。あいつは拾ったなんて言ってるが、実際その通りだった。
Okay, he's being literal.
雪並みは俺をコロニーに連れ帰り、モラビアは俺の命を助けるために手を尽くしてくれた。
I see. Hyuga's story washed over me. I couldn't think of a good way to respond.
俺は人間に見捨てられ、害獣に救われた。あれ以降、あいつらに恩義を感じて、行動を共にするようになった。
Then Hyuga paused, sighed, and dropped his shoulders a little.
とは言っても、あいつらは生活能力ってもんが欠落してるからな。
Yeah,
俺が面倒を見てやらないとならねえって部分もあるが。
You don't say. True, it was hard to imagine Moravia and Yukinami getting by without Hyuga to take care of them. I had figured them out now. Hyuga, Yukinami, and Moravia were in a symbiotic camaraderie instead of one of them being in charge of the others. I mean, they kind of do follow Moravia, though.
害獣に襲われて死にかけた俺は、皮肉にもそのおかげで人外の力を手に入れた。
Yeah, Moravia is obviously the one in charge.
だから、復讐して回ることにした。俺を裏切り、人間から外れるきっかけを作った連中にな。
Okay.
人間は汚い。だからといって、害獣が正しいというわけじゃねえが、少なくとも人間よりはずっと純粋な存在だ。
Well, debatable. Well, what do you call pure? It's like human babies, pretty pure. Like literally can't do shit. They can only shit. They can only shit and cry. Yeah. Yeah, true. Hyuga fell silent. He turned and faced me again.
さあ、こんだけ話してやったんだ。俺が人間を憎む理由なら十分わかっただろ。
Yeah.
お前はどうする？俺と一緒に人間を襲うか？
Well, we did say we would. I couldn't bring myself to meet his sharp gaze and kept my eyes averted from his. What Hyuga went through is horrible, and I understand why he wants revenge, but I don't want to attack innocent humans. Hyuga was betrayed by a handful of bad people. He'd been human once. He had to understand that good, kind humans exist too. Oh, sweetie. Oh, sweetie. Oh, sweetie. Well... But oh no, protagonist. You are trying to reason someone out of a very lizard brain decision. You cannot reason with lizard brain. Trust me, I've tried. It doesn't work. I think I understand your feelings, a little at least. But the humans who wronged you were just a few of many. Why do you hate all humans?
お前は分かってねえな。俺を裏切った連中が特別だったわけじゃない。
Yeah.
あれこそが人間の本性なんだ。
The heat lamp of kindness and many hugs and soup. Warm soup. Love is stored in the soup.
どんな親切面したやつだろうが、一皮むけば薄汚い人間の本性が出てくる。綺麗事を並べてみせたって、他者を犠牲にしてでも自分の命を優先し生き残ろうとする。
So, quick question, Hyuga. If you, Yukinami, and Moravia were in danger, and one of you had to die, would you put yourself first? If not, you're a goddamn hypocrite. Riddle me this, Hyuga. Like, geez. They won't hesitate to put their lives above everyone else's when it comes to their own survival. Yeah. Like most creatures. The cons... Yeah. You know, he possibly would. He possibly would. Not many others would. Not many others would. Well, I mean, we would, yes.
俺はそういう人間っていう種が嫌いだ。
Well...
何よりも嫌悪する。だから、人間は全部俺の敵だ。
はい、フォイニャー。あ、敵だ。人間は敵だ。
Wow. Wow, I can't believe that that is a word that amnesia taught me. Tick-tock. Enemy. And this is where you wind up, huh? Out to attack innocent people?
そうだ。文句あんのか?
It doesn't make you any better. Like, it doesn't make you any better. His tone was harsh, but something in his eyes suggested he wasn't as confident as he tried to sound. Like, honestly, Hugh, honestly. Honestly. I feel like if I had to sit down with this man, I don't know whether I would get frustrated or he would leave in tears. Cause like, or he would attack me. He probably wouldn't cry, he'd probably just attack me. But like, let's be real. You hate humans because they care only about themselves. And they hurt you who was innocent. So now you go and hurt innocents. Like, it doesn't add up, Hyuga. The math ain't mathin'. Does it make you feel better? Does it make you feel better? Do you feel any better when you're all finished?
どういう意味だ?
It's a pretty clear-cut question, Hyuga. When you're all through smashing up innocent people, do you feel any better?
はっ、そんなの当然だろ。俺を下に見ていたような奴らがみっともなく怯えて逃げ惑うのを見るのは最高にいい気分だぜ。
How does attacking and hurting innocent bystanders even count as revenge? They're not the ones who hurt you. You know what? Protagonist Prince? You're doing alright right now. It's a distraction, isn't it? From your pain. Wow, we're just coming out fucking swinging.
関係あるか? 俺は人間すべてが憎い。ただそれだけだ。
Hugo took a deep breath before continuing.
もちろん、俺を裏切った奴ら本人が目の前に現れるようなことがあれば、そう俺を下に見てきたこと、あの世で後悔させてやる。
There's a certain spunk to this protagonist. He's actually... Oh. Up until now, I thought Hugo was struggling emotionally with the trauma from his ordeal. But no, that wasn't the full picture. At his core, he's furious about being trampled, about being treated as a weakling. Well, yes. Now that he has the power to change his circumstances, he's trampling the weak in return! Doesn't he realize he's being a major hypocrite? Oh my god! Prince to Prince telepathy! Holy shit! Was I not just saying that like 5 minutes ago? Hugo is simply repeating the violence that was inflicted on him. The cycle of abuse. Do-do-do-do. The cycle of abuse. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Hugo was already agitated, but I took a determined step closer. Really? You get a thrill? You feel great? Are you sure about all that? As long as you keep attacking humans, your heart will remain empty.
だとしたら、満たされるまで人間を襲い続けるだけだ。
Well,
そうすりゃいつかは気が晴れるだろうさ。
he admitted it, straight up.
お前はさっきから俺の気持ちを分かった風な口を聞いてくるが、お前の理解なんざ求めてねえ。俺は人間を襲いに行くのがどうかだけ聞いたんだ。お前が行かないなら、俺は一人で行く。
It was clear that Hugo didn't want me going along, but I couldn't exactly leave him alone. It's obvious he'll keep hurting humans until he finds peace. I wish I could make him realize that'll never happen. After hearing everything about your past, I understand why you hate humans. It's terrible. I feel so sorry for you. Oh, those were the wrong words. Oof, those were the wrong words. Oh, yikes.
Yuka's demeanor seemed to darken in an instant.
Oi.
Oh, yeah. He is really mad now. Oh, my. Oh, my. Hugo grabbed me by my shoulder and shook me. He glared down at me with fiery eyes.
俺は理解なんざ求めてねえと言ったはずだ。分かったような口を聞くな。しかも、言うにこと書いて、かわいそうだと。お前まさか、俺に同情するつもりか。
His grip on my shoulder grew tighter as he grew more enraged.
俺はそんなもん求めてねえんだよ。
We're in danger. I couldn't help but feel bad for Hyuga. He'd been treated horribly, then abandoned. That would be hard for anyone to bear. But if I admit I pity him, he might get angry enough to kill me.
Yeah, don't shake the baby. We've discussed this. Don't shake the baby. Oh, no, wait, that wasn't here. I didn't discuss my baby shaking story, which sounds really bad. I didn't shake any babies. Not real babies. I had to shake a baby doll for class. I took a child development class in high school, and one of our lessons was don't shake the baby, which, duh. But my teacher brought out a, like, plastic, like clear plastic baby doll, and it had a, like a LED light in the middle. And she showed us, she was like, I'm gonna go around, I'm gonna give everybody the baby doll, and you guys have to shake the baby. Like, shake as light as you can. And basically, when you shook it, the light went off when it indicated, like, that baby would have had brain damage. And, like, it was sensitive. It's a baby. Well, it was meant to pretend to be a baby. So yeah, I as a child at a child development class in high school, I wasn't a childish, but, you know, I was a minor. Yeah, exactly. They literally gave me a plastic baby, and I had to shake the baby. I then also had to take home a robotic baby doll and take care of it for a weekend. That was no fun. It was a sobering thought. What a wonderful line to stop at. I stayed quiet for to start out. Hyuga clucked his tongue when he noticed I'd gone silent. Like, that's a different noise than... And very different noises. I highly doubt he looked at us and went... Like, I'd be like, why did you do that? Oh, it's
a...
He flung me away from him. I stumbled and almost fell, but I righted myself just in time. Hyuga!
黙れ。お前に同情される覚えはね。
Hyuga stared at me in thought for a moment, then a twisted smile surfaced on his lips.
それに、俺よりも真に同情されるべきは、お前の方じゃねえのか?
Yeah, it fucking sucks to be the protagonist right now. Like, that's not a contested fact.
Huh? He said something similar when I asked about the vectors in Hyuga's group.
お前はかわいそうなやつだな。知るべきは俺たちのことじゃなくて自分自身のことなんじゃないか。
I had no idea what he meant at the time. I thought he was just being mean-spirited. Even now, I wasn't sure what he was saying. What does that mean? I caved and asked. Hyuga chuckled in response.
確かにお前は何も知らねえな。いっそ哀れなほどだ。
Well, now you're just being rude. Ignorance isn't a reason to call someone pitiful unless it's willful ignorance or, like, well, yeah, willful ignorance. If someone is just ignorant because they didn't learn, that doesn't make them pitiful. It means that they're teachable. If someone is willfully ignorant, then yeah, all right, you can call it pitiful. Why am I the one who should be pitied? I thought back on Hyuga's story. His colleagues had pushed him around, stabbed him in the back, and left him to become a sort of half monster. Despite all that, he says he feels sorry for me? What does he mean by that? There was nothing pitiful about my life, at least as far as I knew. Yeah, true. Somehow, I feel like Hyuga's talking about something else entirely. What did he know that I didn't? His scrutiny made me feel insecure and unsure of myself. That's rude. I reached out for him reflexively, but he ignored the gesture and started walking away again. The vectors that were waiting patiently ahead fell into step alongside him. They were on their way to Theta. What can I do? I need to stop Hyuga from going to Theta. Only... Filled with unease, I decided to follow Hyuga for now. He's so fast! I started running, desperate to do whatever I could to stop him from reaching his destination. But I was fresh out of ideas, which led me to fixate on the things he'd told me instead. What does he know about me? Oh, my foot snagged on a rock and almost sent me flying. I have to get it together and concentrate on where I'm going. If it comes down to it, I might have to fight Hyuga. I need to be prepared. He doesn't seem like he's, like, excited about this anymore. Oh, okay. Hyuga just kept going, never looking back. His eyes were fixed on Theta. He was no longer running, but his steady walk made it clear he had no intention of stopping. I wasn't sure how much longer it was to Theta, but I knew we'd already come a long way. It won't be long before we reach the colony. I've got to find a way to stop him. Maybe I should try talking to him again? But what's left to talk about? If I say the wrong thing, I might make him angrier. Besides, I think the time for talking has passed. It won't be enough to make Hyuga stop. But I was spurred on regardless, pressured by our approach to Theta. Wait a sec. Well. Well, was that the good one? Was that the right one? Grab his arm? Oh, okay, no. We have to grab his arm. Wait, please wait. I clung to Hyuga's arm. Apparently he doesn't like hugs. I knew he'd shake me off in a second, but it was all I could think of doing. I'm trying to stop you. I have no idea. I tightened my grip on his arm. It's not force, it's a request. Okay, just stop, please. Your plan, it's completely meaningless. Wow. And I think you understand that on some level. I thought he might pause for a second, but then... Ah! He threw me off so roughly the recoil flung me backwards. Ow! It was a hard landing, but I wasn't badly injured. I started to get up. I couldn't stop now. Huh? Look at his eyes. I saw the smallest hint of concern there. Was Hyuga worried about my fall? In any case, he had a softer expression than his usual trademark scowl. Oh? Please don't attack any humans. Oh. The spark of concern I thought I saw in Hyuga's eyes disappeared, replaced by his usual scowl. Then tell me. What? Tell me everything you know about my life that I still don't. What is it? What am I in the dark about? Who knows? If I find out, I might wind up sharing your opinion of humans. The more I insisted, the more Hyuga hesitated. He looked confused, conflicted. I started to hope that maybe, just maybe, I could bring him around after all. But just as I was summoning my courage to make that last convincing push... Oh no. Yeah, we can fix him. Hyuga seemed to spot something in the distance. He gasped and his eyes widened. His face stiffened into an expression that was unlike him. Oh shit! Panicked, I followed his gaze. I saw several shapes off in the distance. It was a group of humans wearing protective suits. Are they researchers from Theta?
Only researchers went outside the colony, and if they were wearing protective suits, then they couldn't wander very far from safety. In other words, we were much closer to Theta than I feared. This is bad. What if Hyuga attacks them? I looked at him, my eyes searching his. Oh, he's gonna have a panic attack. Oh, baby. Hyuga straightened up, his face still stiff. It wasn't the kind of reaction I expected him to have around the humans he claimed to hate. Oh no, he's about to have a panic attack. Or he's having a dissociative episode right now.
Hyuga?
When I spoke his name, the spell over Hyuga, the spell over Hyuga seemed to break. He was having a flashback. He blinked rapidly. Yep, I know. What do you mean? Well, okay, he wasn't having a panic attack, but, well, fight or flight could turn into fight. Hyuga's eyes suddenly blazed with hatred. Well, he's not in full control of his faculties. What? Those are the same humans who worked with Hyuga, who left him to die? I could guess what Hyuga planned to do next. I had to talk him out of it somehow. Wait a minute. They might be from the same lab, but there's no guarantee they're the ones who betrayed you. Oh, fuck. Hyuga! Hyuga dashed directly towards the group of people in suits. The Vectors followed close behind. Things are gonna get really bad really fast! Panicked, I ran after them. The Vector's single-minded charge kicked up dirt and caused the ground to rumble beneath us. The researchers soon realized they were in trouble. I could see the researchers give over to fear and panic as the Vectors bore down on them. I'll never stop Hyuga and the Vectors at this rate. My only hope is to chase away the people instead. I kicked up my speed a notch and dashed after Hyuga and the Vectors. Oh, thought I was gonna hiccup, but it was just a weird one. Through sheer willpower, I managed to reach the researchers before Hyuga. Unfortunately, their panic had them in disarray. Calm down. Listen, you need to run away. I'll hold them off for you. They didn't seem to hear me. They made no attempt to run. They were likely frozen in fear. One of them stared at Hyuga, his eyes wide with shock. Ah, these are the right ones. Yeah, exactly. This music is exciting. His voice carried to Hyuga's ears. He focused his gaze at the researcher. Is there some distortion in it? Oh, yikes. Oh, yikes. Hyuga's face contorted just before he took off. He rapidly closed in on the researcher. Despite their sparse interactions, I don't know. The situation was obvious. That researcher in particular was clearly one of Hyuga's treacherous colleagues. That man is in mortal danger. If Hyuga got his hands on that researcher, what he'd do next would erase all trace of his remaining humanity. That haunting thought popped into my mind out of nowhere. I didn't have time to think. I just reacted. I threw myself between Hyuga and the researcher. Augment his attack power? What? I'm gonna drop a full save here because we're at 3-1 now. We're at 3-1. Well, I don't think that was the right choice. Yeah, it's a bad end. Stop. I have to stop him. Wait, please calm down. I grabbed Hyuga's arm in an attempt to stop him, but he seemed to have lost his senses. He was driven by pure brute strength. Yeah, we have to fix him. What if I attack him? Okay, I have to attack him. I have to punch him. There's only one option left. I've gotta attack. My mind made up. I used my powers to lift a rock and fling it at Hyuga. Sure enough, Hyuga staggered. No! I lobbed another attack at Hyuga, aiming for his feet this time. Thankfully, I got Hyuga to stop in his tracks. First, calm down! Hyuga's eyes brimmed with rage. I have to stop him! I can't let him hurt anyone! I held my ground and stared him down. I can't stand by and watch you kill someone.
I mean, he has a point. He has a point.
No, you can't. If you do that, you'll become a monster yourself. I turned to the researcher cowering behind me and tried to send him a signal with my eyes. Run, fucker, run. Yeah. Yeah. Run, no! But Hyuga took that moment to rush forward. Well, Hyuga's attack set me flying. It was far stronger than any attack he'd used up till now. I hit the ground so hard I lost my breath. Huh. That's an interesting reaction. Hyuga looked out at me, and I thought I saw something like hesitation in his eyes. He looked away and seemed to calm down a bit. Ah, his attack was strong, but he didn't intend to hurt me for real. Granted, my mind was fuzzy. I wasn't thinking straight, but somehow I knew it was true. Our fight caught the interest of one of the vectors. As I watched, it suddenly broke into a run. If I stay here, the vector will attack. I tried to get up, but my body felt like it was shattered. I couldn't move. There's no time. Pain shot through my arm as the vector slashed at it. It hurts so much. And this wound, The vector hit me in the same place I'd been slashed before, back when my superpowers had awakened. Is that a coincidence? Or just fate? I heard someone calling from a long way off. Oi! Oi! Shikkari shiro! Well. Ain't that a funny situation? Hey, Hyuga? You just watched something very similar to what happened to you happen to someone else. No, I don't think he'll attack the vector. I struggled to open my eyes even a little. Hyuga looked down at me. Whew, he stopped after all. Is he worried about me? I've never seen this look on his face before. My wound pulsed to the beat of my heart. Pulsated, okay, sure, to the beat of my heart. I was slipping out of consciousness. I feel so heavy, like I'm sinking into deep mud. It's so dark, cold, desolate. Where am I? What happened to me? I'm lost. I need to go back, but back to where exactly? I can't see, can't hear. Yeah, I guess we're becoming double vector? Then I heard someone calling me from far away. Oi! Oi! Who's saying my name? Yeah, vector squared. I turned towards the voice. I could feel my body becoming lighter. If I follow the voice, I'll get away from here, I'm sure of it. I latched onto that faint sound. Oh. I opened my eyes and saw a familiar ceiling. This is my room in Tao? Huh? For a few moments, I couldn't remember what happened to me. Was that a dream? It got kind of nice toward the end. Pain jolted through my arm when I tried to sit up. Ow! The pain shocked me enough to make me lie back down. However, the jolt also kickstarted my memories. I don't know what the nice part was. Maybe somebody calling for us? Ouch. Yeah, I remember now. Hyuga flung me to the ground and then a vector got me. My arm wasn't the only thing that hurt. Hitting the bare earth hadn't done my body any favors. No doubt I was black and blue.
I also felt completely physically drained. I abandoned my attempt to sit up. Instead, I looked around while laying on my side. Oh, right. I left a letter for Lise before I took off. I hope she got it. Huh? But how did I get back here? The door opened just as that thought entered my mind. Someone's coming in. Lise? But the one who entered my room was Hyuga, not Lise. Our eyes met and his face softened unexpectedly.
気がついたのか?
Yeah, I just woke up. I wasn't sure how to react to Hyuga's expression.
どこか痛むところはあるか?
All over, fucker. What do you think? My arm hurts a lot. It hurts too much to sit up, actually. Yeah, thanks to you! Are you hurt? Take a wild fucking guess, Sherlock.
わかった。起きるのを手伝う。
What? Huh? Hyuga came to my bedside, put his hands on my back, and slowly lifted me to a sitting position. What the fuck are you doing, sir? Then, to make me more comfortable, he carefully tucked a cushion behind me. What's all this about? Why is he treating me so nice all of a sudden? Did he hit his head? As I watched Hyuga, I steeled myself inside. I didn't trust his sudden change of heart. Whenever we interacted, he gave me nothing except impatience, irritation, and even malice. True, he's still the mother hen type, but he's never been this kind to me before. Yeah, exactly. He just hit his head on guilt. I was so taken aback that I forgot I was staring. Hyuga met my eyes again and frowned.
ああ、それはそうか。傷つけた張本人が手出すなって思うよな。
It's not that.
俺はもう行く。じゃあな。
Hyuga turned and left the room. My mind was still fuzzy with shock. What was that all about? Is he actually so worried about me that he decided to make sure I was okay? The soft look in his eyes, his concerned tone, the gentle way he helped me sit up, it was clear he wanted to check up on me and make sure I was all right. Oh, I should have thanked him for helping me sit up. I decided not to think too hard about why Hyuga's mood shifted so suddenly. I'd just make sure I thanked him the next time I saw him. See, if it were me, I would have just yelled, "Thank you!" and that would have been that. I was spacing out from the pain of my wounds, but a knock at the door brought me back to the present. Come in. Oh, Lise. Lise appeared around the edge of my door. I'd been nervous about Hyuga returning, but I relaxed when I saw it was Lise.
もう起きて大丈夫なの?
Lise came rushing over to my bedside as soon as she noticed I was standing up. The look of sick worry in her eyes made me feel guilty. Yeah, I'm fine. What about you, Lise? You're walking around by yourself. Are you feeling better? I'm so sorry for just leaving this morning. Lise looked confused. She didn't seem to understand what I was saying.
残念。それは今朝じゃなくて、
Oh.
一昨日の出来事なんだよ。
おとといよ。Oh, the day before yesterday. What? The day before yesterday? My mind still felt thick and slow. I couldn't process what Lise was saying. I shook my head.
君は2日前、大怪我を負って帰ってきたの。それからずーっと眠ってたんだよ。
Oh. 2 days. I felt my eyes grow wide. Yeah, they really do. Attacked by a vector. Skip your next turn. I've never slept that long in my life. I was flabbergasted. I could barely comprehend the very idea of sleeping the day away.
もう驚くところはそこ？寝すぎてちょっとボケボケになっちゃった？
I guess that's possible. Lise sat down on the chair by the bed and giggled as she looked at
で
me.
もまあ、目を覚ましてくれてよかった。さっきヒューガが部屋から出てきたよね。
Oh, you know Hyuga.
あの人も君が起きてほっとしたと思うよ。
You've become acquainted with Hyuga.
なんたって君を抱えて帰ってきたのはヒューガなんだからね。
Uh-huh. It was just one shock after another since I woke up. What? Hyuga carried me? It didn't seem like something he'd do, but based on how he'd acted around me moments ago, it also kind of made sense. He turns giving a sponge bath Why would he go to the trouble of saving me after being so nasty, though?
あの日、私が起きたら君がいなくて、でも置き手紙があったから大丈夫だと思ったの。それでのんきに帰りを待ってたんだ。そうしたら人を呼ぶ声が。びっくりして建物の入り口まで見に行くと、怖い感じの男の人が血まみれの君を抱えてたの。その時初めてヒューガに会ったから、この人が君に何かしたんじゃないかって一瞬警戒しちゃった。
Kind of his fault.
でもヒューガはすごく取り乱していて、本気で君を心配してるのはすぐに分かったよ。だからこの人は敵じゃなさそうだなって思った。
I'm glad that person didn't become my enemy. So. Oh, didn't seem like an enemy. Okay, that makes sense. Nasaso. Nai sa feeling, not feeling soul looks like. How the fuck did I remember that grammatical compound? Yeah. Hyuga was upset? It sounded so unbelievable. The Hyuga I knew wouldn't give me the time of day.
Oh, and the reason why it's na is because you turn a noun into an adjective, they become na adjectives.
Ow! Nasaso! Nasaso! Karu! I understand! Not fully, but I get it.
その騒ぎを聞きつけて、他の人たちも駆けつけて、みんなで君の治療をしたんだ。
I'm surprised that I've made the connection. I'm really surprised that I made the connection, but...
モラビアと雪並みに会ったのもその時が初めてだったけど、
I'm glad you know everyone now.
もう緊急事態すぎて自己紹介とかしてる場合じゃなかったな。
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I did take 3 years technically. I did take 3 years of Japanese pretty much. Not to mention I listen to drama CDs and I watch anime and I watch stage plays and interact with Kei-san on Kei-san's stream. Yeah, and I traveled. I've been to Japan 3 times. Yeah, all the otomes that I play. I use my baby Japanese in Kei-san's stream, which is fun. I missed that they were streaming last night. I wanted to say hi. I missed it though. But yeah. Yeah. Well, no, but yes. Diabolic Lovers is a fucking weird-ass game, language-wise. It uses some weirdness.
でも、みんな君を助けたいっていう
No, I'll skip. Okay. Everyone want to save you. We'll bend together.
モラビアはテキパキしてたし、モラビアの指示で雪並みと私も頑張ったよ。
Oh.
でも、ヒューガは動揺しすぎてもたもたしちゃって。
Are we talking about the same Hyuga here? Okay, this was getting too far-fetched. The person Lise was describing didn't match up with the Hyuga I thought I knew.
ヒューガはそれだけ君のことが心配だったんだね。もちろん私もすっごく心配したよ。
Yeah, of course you were super worried about us too. Sorry, Lise.
君の傷は結構ひどくて、あともう少し治療が遅かったら命も危なかったんだって。
Oh, our life was in danger.
途中で富塚さんっていう人も来て、その人が作った薬を投与してくれたんだ。そうしたら君の容体が安定したの。
Lise, you should know him. He's the man you sling slurs at. You should know this man, Lise. Yeah, Rio always popping in at the weirdest times. Oh, Rio came. Lise seemed to have missed the connection between Ro and our campus fairy.
Yeah.
God bless it, that nickname again. All things considered, she was probably too distracted. Once again, I realized how much trouble I'd been. But thinking about everyone coming together to try and save my life, it made me feel weirdly warm and happy. Thank you, Lise. I guess I better thank the others too, huh?
君が元気になってよかった。
No.
きっとみんなも安心するよ。特にヒューガがね。最初の方はつきっきりで看病してたし、容体が落ち着いてからも日に何度も様子を見に来てたから。
Oh. When Lise said that, I remembered how I heard someone calling my name when I was near comatose. Was that Hyuga's voice? Blessings. Maybe it was. Or maybe I was totally off base. After all, everything's hazy in a dream.
ヒューガはすごく心配してたし、動揺してた。君の寝顔を見つめながら、自分の方こそ死にそうなくらい思い詰めた表情をしてたよ。ヒューガは自分が君を傷つけたって言ってた。
Well, yeah, that's true.
ねえ、それは本当なの？一体何があったの？
What happened out there? A lot of shit. No wonder Lise was confused. She wasn't around to see all the times Hyuga snapped at me. I filled Lise in, painting a picture of everything that happened between Hyuga and I. From what you've seen of Hyuga, it might be hard to believe, but he hates humans, and he's been pretty awful to me as well. For all I know, this incident hasn't done anything to change his mind about people. 2 days ago, Hyuga rounded up some vectors and said he was going to attack Theta. I knew I had to stop him, so I followed. He warned me to stay back unless I was prepared to fight humans too. He threatened to kill me. Lise's eyes grew wide. Sure enough, she couldn't imagine this side of Hyuga.
なんだか私が会った時のイメージと全然違うね。
Yeah, 全然違うね。We're like a weird dog. Mistreat us and we just want to spend more time around you. I nodded, but kept going. Despite his threats, I tailed him. I even got him to tell me a little bit about himself and fill me in on why he hates humans so much. Then we drew close to Theta. Hyuga saw some people from his past. He went berserk and tried to attack them. I tried to stop his rampage and wound up with these injuries. When I was done, Lise tilted her head and thought. Yeah.
だからヒューガは自分が傷つけたって言ってたのか。
Yep. Lise had a few more moments of contemplation, then murmured something like, "Still, I kind of understand Hyuga's actions."
確かに因縁のある相手なら、それが正しいかどうかは別として攻撃しようとしちゃうのは理解できるな。でも君が人間を助けたいと思ってることはヒューガも分かってたんだよね。それなら君が止めに入ったのも想定内だったはず。
I mean, I guess?
なのに実際に君が怪我をしたからって
Yes, you've now...
どうして助けたりしたのかな。
Yeah.
ちょっと矛盾してるよね。
We also did say we would help. Yeah, Lise was thinking aloud as if putting everything together. She began to tell me how Hyuga acted when I was asleep.
私はヒューガが看病してる様子を間近で見ていたけど、本当に君を心配してるみたいで、裏があるとかそういうのは感じなかったな。
Every time I hear that, every time I hear any word that sounds even similarly to Yuragiri, my brain fills in the Durarara opening.
It doesn't make sense to me either. When he came to my room earlier, there was no trace of the Hyuga who threatened to kill me.
よくわからないのは君もだよ。
Surprised, I looked at Lise. She rolled her eyes a bit.
君が人間をかばうのはわかるよ。私だって君と同じ立場だったら人間を助けたいって思っただろうし。
Okay.
でも君はなんだかヒューガに対しても同情的っていうか。
Oh, sympathetic.
仮にも自分を傷つけた相手なのに怒ってないのはどうして？
Oh yeah, why aren't we angry? That's a great question. Well, I didn't want to spill Hyuga's entire past to Lise, but I knew she'd never be satisfied with the vague recollection I'd already given her. I caused Lise so much worry, and I want to tell her everything, but I'll just stick to telling her how I personally felt. Yeah, we chose this route 4 hours ago. Once I found out why Hyuga hates humans, I realized it's no surprise he feels resentment. But even as I recognize Hyuga's feelings are valid, I know going around and attacking humans wouldn't solve anything. Once I realized he'll never truly be happy, I started to feel sorry for him. Blank space.
それでヒューガを怒らせちゃったってこと?
Yeah. I nodded and Lise fell silent and spent the next few minutes deep in thought.
でも怒るってことは案外図星だったんじゃない?
I don't know how I feel about that assumption. Because, like, you can get angry because things are insulting. Doesn't mean they're right. Like, if someone came up to me and said, hey, you're dumb as shit, I'd be, like, upset. That doesn't mean they're right. I'd be like, well, that's really rude of you. Hit the mark, huh? I thought back on what happened and recalled how Hyuga's temper had flared. I definitely made an impact, but I guess it makes sense that he wouldn't want sympathy from a stranger. Especially sympathy for such a terrible event. Hyuga was scarred by his peers' ridicule and scorn. It wasn't surprising that he resented my pity. He still hurts from how he was treated.
だからって自分を怪我させた相手を許せちゃうなんて君はほんと優しい
ね. Kill him with kindness. Kind. The word reminded me of what happened when I leaped in front of Hyuga. That's not true. I'm not kind. I didn't just stop Hyuga because I wanted to save Hyuga from being hurt or killed. I did it in part because of the things he told me. Things were making me suspicious.
気になること?
Hyuga seems to know things about me, things I don't even know myself. I wanted to know more, that's why I wanted to keep talking to him. But I was worried Hyuga would lose himself entirely if I couldn't stop him from attacking. If that happened, I might lose my chance to learn more about myself. I felt a wave of self-loathing as I put my thoughts into words. Yeah. I acted on my own interests and I got hurt. That's all. I don't blame Hyuga, it's my fault. I laughed self-deprecatingly, but Lisa shook her head.
だけどその自分勝手のおかげで命が救われた人だっているわけでしょ?
True.
なら結果オーライだよ。それにね、やっぱり君は優しい子だと思う。だって理由が自分勝手だとしても、普通は誰かのために自分の身を投げ出すなんてでき、それができちゃうなんて君はやっぱりヒーローなんだよ。
I didn't mean to skip her line, but yeah, we really are a hero. Lise chuckled and stroked my hair softly, which made the guilt in my chest recede a little. Lise, やっぱり。
ただし、その優しさで自分の身を傷つけるなんて、もう絶対しちゃダメだからね。すごく心配しちゃうから。
Sorry to worry you. I won't do it again.
よろしい。今は私の方が元気だから、今度は私が看病してあげるよ。
Oh my. Yeah, next time we'll intro Hyuga in the name of kindness.
君が眠っている間に、伊吹や雪並とも仲良くなったから、食事を運んでくるのも任せて。
I was calling him Izumi. I keep calling him Izumi, but that's not his name. It's Ibuki. About those guys, they're vectors, and the reason Lise was brought here, I was worried she'd be scared of them, but Lise spoke up before I could voice my thoughts.
大丈夫だから任せて。
Raffia.
早速行ってくるね。
Yeah, you know what? Lise gave me a reassuring smile before leaving the room. Lise's really something else. She must have noticed by now that they're not normal humans, but she's made friends instead of shying away from them. Lise's doing her best to adjust to her new situation. I can't throw cold water on her efforts. Based on how easily Lise talked about things, it was apparent she was now familiar with the colony. Yeah. Surely she noticed the vectors roaming around like stray cats, not to mention the people watching over her. She might have just told me she's gotten to know everyone because she didn't want me to worry, but it didn't seem like she was lying. Lisa's doing her best to move forward. I'm the one who brought her here, and I'm still worried. I guess. Well, based on what we were told by Uncle, he was born Ibuki. And he could turn into Moravia, and he just does it whenever he feels like it. He just changes form whenever he feels like it. A knock at the door interrupted my thoughts. Oh, is Lise back already? Come in! The door door open to reveal Hyuga. I blinked in surprise. Speak of the devil. Ah! I was expecting Lise, not him. His sudden arrival made me feel flustered. Hyuga looked apologetic and spoke hesitantly.
Ah, Liseに食事を運ぶように言われた。
Oh, Lise. Lise. That's when I noticed he was holding a tray of food. No doubt Lise was thinking of me. I did say I wanted to thank him properly. Thank you very much.
いや、これ。
Yeah, Lise best wingman. I can't turn!
Hyuga placed a tray on the bedside table, then hesitated for a few seconds before sitting in the chair beside the bed. I figured Hyuga would just put the food down and leave, but apparently he wanted to have a conversation with me too. How do I even begin? I guess I'll wait for Hyuga to start. Oh no. He's not going to start the conversation. An awkward silence filled the room. Maybe I should kick things off. Things are already pretty awkward thanks to the silence. I doubt it can get worse. No! No! There will be no vomiting in this house. But maybe I've missed my chance to start talking. Yes? Hyuga grabbed the reins while I agonized over what to say. Oh, wait! He's never said my name before. Hearing him say my name made my heart speed up. I didn't want to interrupt him, so I kept my excitement contained with an inner smile. Hyuga looked kind of embarrassed.
その食欲はあるか?
He's so cute!
吐き気とかはお前ずっと熱が高かったから。
I love him. He's precious. I thought I would hate him, and he has grown on me. He has grown on me. Like a extremely malignant tumor. Was I? I don't know if you could ever count me as a tsundere. There's a lot of tsundere going around. Yeah. I have? I don't feel nauseous at all, but I'm not exactly hungry either. Look! Malignant was the only word I could think of.
そうか。食えるようになったら食っておけ。食べた方が体力が戻る。
Are we gonna bond over food? Are we gonna bond over food and him nursing me back to health?
I finally had my chance to say thanks. Lise told me you stayed by my side the whole time I was unconscious. Thank you. And I feel a lot better after sitting up. Thanks for helping me do that. Finally! We were having a conversation! If I kept the ball rolling, maybe I'd get a chance to ask him about the stuff I want to know! But before I could continue, Hyuga reached out to me. What? His big hand gently enveloped my own. His touch was so gentle. It was as if he was handling something made of glass. It's almost like he's afraid he might hurt me. His gentleness surprised me, but at the same time, I didn't dislike it. I hadn't felt his hand before now, but it was as warm as a human's. Yeah, hand holding already? Unprotected? Whoa, moving a little fast there. Hyuga? Aw, we kind of look like we're dying. We kind of look like we're dying. His eyes met mine, and I saw deep regret. Then he said, it looks like he's here to say his final words. Then he spoke.
ごめん。
His admission of guilt was succinct, but hesitant and almost inaudible. Still, I could hear the sorrow and guilt in that faint apology.
お前が怪我をして、お前の血を見て。
Well, that's a problem,
ようや
sir.
く俺はお前を素直に見つめることが
I
できた
started
み
to
たい
see you
だ。
for the first time when I saw your blood. That's not good. That's not good.
自分を危険にさらしてでも他人を助けようとする姿に、お前の言葉が口先だけの綺麗事じゃなかったって思い知らされた。
Yeah, let's hope it doesn't take a liberal application of blood every month or so. I mean, we could get it relatively pain-free. I think that would be a problem, though. I really don't want to be showing this man my blood every month. Hey, look, Hyuga, I'm not pregnant. I'm sorry. I fucking cracked myself up with that one. Oh my god.
お前が生きていて
Yeah.
よかった。
Yeah. All our unprotected hand holding. Man, he's worried. I'm really glad you pulled through.
He's really... I decided to ask the question on my mind. You were worried about me? You're worried about me?
それは
When I woke up earlier, you seemed so concerned. And you were so gentle when you helped me sit up. Your face was so kind. It was nothing like that scowl you were always going around with.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Yeah, once again, we have a bad case of protagonist looks like she's feeling a completely different expression. Or she's feeling a completely different emotion. Hugo looked away, seemingly unsure of how to respond. He then let out a heavy sigh, like a valve releasing pressure.
お前を心配してる。
Why? You threatened to kill me if I got in your way.
悪かったな。あの時はお前の存在が俺が憎む人間そのものみたいに思えてたんだ。
So, have I gone up in value in your eyes?
それに、ああ言っておけば、お前がビビってついてこなくなると思った。予想は外れたが。
Yeah, look, I'm dumb as fuck a box of rocks, apparently.
A threat like that wouldn't stop me. Hugo's roundabout praise made me feel bold.
He returned with a confused smile.
お前は思った以上に根性があるみてえだな。お前を助けたのはあの時の俺に似ていたからだ。
Yeah, you probably had a flashback, sir.
どうしても助けずにはいられなかった。
Yeah, we've abandoned our humanity, become magical.
That fateful day.
I recalled the story Hugo told me about his past. He was abandoned by his colleagues, wounded by a vector, and left to die. Come to think of it, that's kind of what happened to me, too.
But unlike you, I wasn't pushed in front of a charging vector to act as bait,
so someone else could escape. As I was speaking, I realized something. Did you think that being scratched by a vector would turn me into one?
ああ。だが、お前はならなかった。
Yeah. Why is that?
Even if I got an antibody shot, I should have started to change a little, like Lisa. And when my superpowers awoke, I was scratched by a vector then too. Why didn't I become one? Instead, the attack gave me superpowers. I never made a connection before, but now I was curious.
Hi.
どうしてなんだろうな。
Yuka spoke over my thoughts.
俺たちは似ているようで違う。
Mm-hmm.
お前は俺と同じにはならない。
Oh.
Yuka's voice was heavy with sadness. Yeah. He wanted to be like me, or... But I couldn't bring myself to ask. Yuka also remained silent, but his warm, gentle hand was still clasped around mine. Maybe I can ask now.
Oh, well, we're still interrogating him.
I cleared my throat, determined to push forward. What is it that I don't know?
お前。
You know something about me that I don't know myself, right? Please, tell me what it is. I hate being kept in the dark like this. I want to know as much as I can so I can make up my own mind about how I should feel. A sad expression descended over Hugo's face as he listened to me.
知ったら、お前は後悔するかもしれないぞ。
I'll take informed regret over blissful ignorance. If I don't hear the truth, I'll lose track of the right path to take. Then I'll have come all this way for nothing. So please, tell me. Hugo looked at me, his eyes filled with hesitation. I stared right back at him, unblinking. Finally, Hugo's shoulders slumped. He sighed.
わかった。話してやるよ。
Unfortunately for you, Hugo, I'm blinking a lot. My heart leaped at Hugo's response.
ただし。
Hmm? My face lit up just as Hugo held my finger.
飯を食ってからだ。話を聞いた後じゃ 食欲がなくなっちまうかもしれねえからな。
Speaking of eating, I'm glad to see that my kitty baby is eating. She was being a very, very spoiled little diva lady, and I was concerned for her. She didn't want to eat her food. She just wanted treaties. But she's eaten all the treaties. There are no more treaties in my house. Hugo's warning pushed me to give voice to a thought I'd had for a while now. Exactly. I was like, you love the chunks and gravy. Why aren't you eating your chunks and gravy? She's back to eating it now.
Nanda?
Has anyone ever told you that you're a bit of a mother hen?
Sana.
Sana. Hugo's face turned beet red, which was really the only answer I needed. Then he rescued himself by changing the subject.
で、大丈夫か？自分で食べるのが無理そうなら、俺が。
No thanks, I'm fine. I can eat by myself. As soon as I realized he was going to suggest feeding me, I turned him down, flustered. Oh, being hand-fed would be so embarrassing. I'd feel like I'm being babied. Anyway, it's not necessary. I still have one good arm. I was happy with his kind offer, but I seriously did not want him to follow through.
手助けが必要なら言えよ。じゃあ、これ。
Hugo leaned over and retrieved the tray from the bedside table. Thank you.
あ、ゆっくり食えよ。
I began to eat slowly as he suggested. It soon became clear that even the act of eating was exhausting. Lying in bed for 2 days had clearly sapped my strength. Hugo stayed with me and made small talk as I ate. Hugo and I casually chatting. It still didn't seem real.
それだけ食欲があるなら、デザートも食べられそうだな。
Huh? There's dessert?
リーゼがなんかゴソゴソやってると思ったら、ここにある材料で手早く作っちまった。
He says cookies! Hugo took the empty plate from me and put it on the table.
モラビアや雪並みにも好評だったぞ。俺はまだ食ってねえけど。
Well, it might be muffins, it might be cookies. Hugo plucked a bowl from the tray and handed it to me. Cookies! Cookies! Indeed, the bowl was piled with cookies. My eyes widened with delight.
リーゼはあくまでもクッキーもどきだって言ってたけどな。
Impromptu cookies.
あり合わせの材料でここまで作れるんだから大したもんだ。
To her credit, Lise is an excellent baker. Let's share these, Hugo.
じゃあ、
Yeah.
味見させてもらおうか。
Yeah. The two of us dug into the impromptu cookies Lise baked. I was finally starting to feel better. Ah, those are tasty. Thanks, Lise.
おそ松様。これだけ食えれば回復も早いだろう。
Osamatsu-sama. What? I have no idea what he said at the beginning. That did not sound like Otsukare-sama. Oh well, whatever. Hugo checked my face to see if my color was coming back, but I wanted to return to our earlier discussion. So, getting back to the topic at hand, you said you told me all the things I don't know about myself, right?
なんだ、覚えてたのか。
No. You seriously thought dinner and cookies were enough to make me forget? My tone was sarcastic, but Hugo didn't seem to mind.
冗談だ。わかってる。話してやるよ。
Oh, you actually get jokes? Sorry.
それくらいはな。それと、敬語とさん付け、無理にしなくていいぞ。つうかやめろ。リーゼなんか普通にタメ口だぞ。
Were we using Keigo? Were we using Keigo with him? Oh no. Alright then, if you insist. Hugo carried the tray out of the room and returned with 2 mugs of tea. Apparently. He handed 1 mug to me, then took his seat on the chair by the bed.
さて、まずは俺が人間だった頃、
Well,
研究者時代に知ったことから話してやるか。
at least he, sorry. Make sure my Discord is closed. He knows firsthand. I gazed at the steam rising from the mug as Hugo dug through his memories and began recounting them to me.
害獣たちが元は人間だった。ということは、お前も理解しているな。
Yep, we know that. Yep, I know that much. After all, Lise had nearly turned into a vector right before my eyes. I knew all about it.
だが、ここに来て何かおかしいと思ったことはないか。
Oh. I'm dropping an actual save and we'll know where we are. We're at 4-1 already? Wow, we're almost done with this route. Wow. Wow. Odd? Granted, there are a lot of odd things here, but seeing vectors in such a calm state, that's something I never would have imagined. Ooh. After watching me mull it over for a moment, Hugo offered a hint.
いいか、考えてもみろ。害獣に傷つけられると、その人間も害獣になる。ということは、ここにいる害獣の数だけ、害獣に襲われた人間がいることになるんだ。だが、それだと不自然じゃないか？
Yeah. He gave me a few more seconds to process what he was saying. Oh.
気づいたようだな。
Yeah. There is a surplus of vectors here.
ああ、これだけの数の害獣。つまり、元人間がどこから来たかって話だ。
They probably do. I guess maybe from some colony where they lived when they were still humans?
普通に考えればそうなるな。
Only one colony was within any reasonable range of the Vector's colony, and that was Theta, my home colony? I was afraid to hear the answer, but Hugo posed another question instead of giving me one.
お前がブルームズの一員として戦っていた時、害獣に襲われる人間を見たことがあるか？
Huh? No, I never actually saw it happen. We were usually attacked when people weren't around. I only saw Elise and, well, me, that's all. But with the number of Vectors here, did that many people inside Theta get scratched? Vectors only showed up at night. Very few people were around during those hours given the curfew, so there was little risk of being attacked in Theta. Most people in the colonies don't even know about the Vectors or the Blooms. They were considered urban legends. That had to mean only a very small number of people actually changed after a Vector attack. Then one day, though, the Vectors did attack during the day. That's why so many people were hurt. Usually there'd almost never be casualties. In other words, very few people in Theta have actually had a violent encounter with a Vector.
一応言っておくが、害獣は生物ではあるが、普通の生物とは全く別物だ。生命活動が停止すれば、肉体が崩壊する。それだけでなく、物も食わねえし、自然繁殖で増えるわけでもねえ。
That answers that question. They don't breed.
でもな、このコロニーの害獣は俺が来てからも増え続けている。
Were they created just like
これがどういうことかわかるか？
They were just created without the ability to fuck? Are you saying the new Vectors are coming in from Theta? Yuka nodded solemnly, which snuffed out my intention to dismiss the idea as a silly conspiracy.
俺はそう考えている。
But that doesn't make sense. Theta's a large colony with a large population. If a bunch of people went missing, it would cause an uproar. When I lived there, I never recalled hearing reports about groups of people vanishing. There was just talk about monsters attacking people, but I just dismissed all that as a rumor. Then something odd struck me as I voiced my thoughts. Wait, is the Vector transformation triggered some other way?
それが答えだ。
Oh yeah, there we go.
害獣に襲われて害獣になった元人間以外の害獣がここには数多くいる。
Maybe they reproduce by splitting in two, like cells? Yeah. Yuka shook his voice and frowned at the hopeful tone of my voice.
お前、
shook his head.
意外と突拍子もない発想するな。そんなわけねえだろ。
Yeah, I figured as much.
分裂は置いといて、害獣が生まれるには2つのパターンがあるはずだ。各種。
Oh, here you go, put one finger up.
一つは、俺やリーゼみてえに害獣に襲われたことで変化する場合。もう一つは、恋に生み出される場合だ。
Well, man. I wasn't expecting him to say that. What do you mean, created? Like grown in a lab or something? But who?
害獣になりかかっていたリーゼを隔離していたのはドイツだ。
There was only one answer, and I remembered it all too well, as chilling as it was. You mean the researchers?
そうだ。
Yuga nodded briefly, and I felt my chest become heavy. I'd really wanted him to tell me I was wrong, but no, apparently it was just as I feared. The research district's whole purpose is to find ways to help humankind. Why would they do that? How does mass-producing vectors help anyone?
I sat up abruptly, forgetting my pain. Hyuga pat my shoulder to try and calm me.
落ち着け。お前は病み上がりなんだぞ。
Sorry. I had admittedly gotten pretty fired up. It was just such a shock. Nope. No. We the audience know this because this is like the 7th time we've gotten this talk. Hugo waited for me to calm down before he continued.
最初にも言ったが、この話に確証はない。俺は研究者だったが、その他の研究チームにいたわけじゃねえからな。
Right, he was at a different field. I had to admit, it was a relief to know Hyuga had nothing to do with the creation of vectors.
研究エリアで行われている研究のほとんどは人間のためのものだ。俺の専門分野は環境工学でな。コロニーの外の荒廃した環境を改善するための環境改善プロジェクトに携わっていた。
Unfortunately, that's the one. That's the vector. That's the one with the vectors.
コロニーの外でも人間が生存していけるように環境を改善することは研究エリアにおける最大のプロジェクトだった。ただ、だいぶ昔から取り組まれているプロジェクトだったが、もう長い間目覚ましい成果を上げられずにいた。そこで視点を変えようと考えたんだろうな。詳しい経緯は知らねえが、いつの頃からか研究の方向性が枝分かれしていった。
You couldn't change the environment to fit humans, so you thought, what if we change humans to fit the environment?
環境じゃなく人間を変えたらどうか。
Yeah.
Change humans? That idea sounded like it might have promised, but Hyuga's face stated otherwise.
環境が変えられないなら、
What? That's
人
exactly
間
what
が
I
外の
said.
環境で生存できるようになればいいって考え方だ。
It doesn't sound bad on paper.
それはある意味理にかなっている。大きな環境を変えるより小さな人間を変える方がよほど現実的だからな。そうして始まったのが環境適応プロジェクトだった。
Project Enviro Adaptation.
俺が研究者になるよりずっと昔から始まっていたプロジェクトだが、外部には秘匿されていた。
I was like, is he not? The timeline of this is confusing.
聞いた話じゃ、人類の存亡をかけた研究としてシータの上層部からはかなり期待されていたらしい。
Yeah.
If that's the case, why keep such an amazing project under wraps?
非人道的なことをやっていたからだろうな。
I gripped the mug in my hand and grit my teeth. I'd been spared up until now, but the truth, it was painful.
俺が研究者になった頃には、環境改善プロジェクトは環境適応プロジェクトの隠れ蓑みたいなところがあった。世間には環境改善の方が分かりやすいし、イメージがいいからな。
Yeah, regular civilians would definitely see it that way.
だが、環境適応プロジェクトの方が予算は多かった。シータの上層部的にはあっちの方がメインだったんだろう。研究エリアの中でも環境適応プロジェクトの詳しい内容を知る者はごく一部だった。
Yuka swirled his tea around in his mug with a faraway look in his eyes. Yeah.
だが、どうにも気な臭い。人体実験をしてるだとかなんとか、ろくでもない噂ばかり流れてきやがる。
Those damn rumors.
環境適応プロジェクトには近づかないのが身のためだってことだけは誰もが分かってた。
Yeah, understandable.
俺、そんなある時だ。俺は環境調査のため、同僚に無理やりシータの外に連れ出されちまった。
Oh, yeah. I nodded, unsure of how to feel. Hugo was attacked by a vector that day, and his fate was changed forever.
俺はそこで初めて害獣というものを目撃した。それが何なのかもわからないまま襲われ、
So, like the whole
気
Oni
がついた
form?
時には俺も害獣になっていた。
The whole crazy horde form you get? Like, does that have anything to do with being a vector?
このコロニーに連れてこられて、雪並みやモラビアに出会った
Yeah,
ことで、
I guess.
それまで謎だったこと、すべてが分かった。
I wondered what he meant by everything. He's probably not gonna tell us. How are Yukinami and Moravia involved in this?
あいつらは身の上を多くは語らなかったが、話の端々から推測するに、どうも シータの研究所で育ったということは確かなようだ。
Yep, they were lab babies. They were part of the project. What? I was so shocked to hear that I couldn't help but let out a shout. Still, I don't think it's impossible.
俺が考えるに、あの二人こそが環境適応プロジェクトが生み出した環境に適応する人間じゃねえかと睨んでる。
New and improved humans. Survive outside. I muttered to myself as I tried to process everything. It was all so unbelievable. I didn't know what to think. But it makes sense. In retrospect, that would explain why they never needed protective suits outside, and why they're so powerful. But why are they all the way out here now instead of inside a lab in Theta?
詳しく聞いたわけじゃねえが、脱走してきたみてえだな。
Well, yeah.
Yeah, heterochromatic, gender fluid magical girls, yeah.
I see. It sounded likely. I couldn't imagine those two would stand for being locked up and treated like lab rats. Yuko couldn't resist throwing in a complaint.
研究所育ちのせいか。あいつらには生活力ってもんが皆無だ。
Yeah.
炊事も身の回りのことも全然する気がね
え。Yeah.
仕方なく、その他のことは俺が引き受けるようになった。恩返しって意味もあるが、見るに見かねてという方が近いかもな。
Yeah. So, you turned into Camp Mom. You turned into Camp Mom. Yuga. It was technically a complaint, yes, but I could tell he didn't mind as much as he let on. Definitely a mother hen. I just choked back a laugh that nearly escaped and shattered the serious atmosphere.
話が脱線しちまった。とにかく、モラビアと雪並は研究所出身らしいってことだ。
Yep.
それともう一つ、このコロニーで過ごすうちに気づいたことがあった。害獣の増え方がおかしいんだ。
Yeah, she's got a salt lick, definitely.
ずっといろんな害獣を見ていると、個体差を見分けられるようになってくる。
Oh.
そうするとわかるんだ。あんな害獣、この間まではいなかったぞ。って具合にな。
Well, that's cool.
そうやって定期的にまとまった頭数が増えていく。その増え方はまるでどこからか運び込まれてるみてえだった。
Yuga looked a bit doubtful for a moment. He shook his head as if reassuring himself.
最初に気づいたとき、息吹や雪並みに食ってかかったっけな。
Ibuki. No, now he said Ibuki.
なぜ止めない？お前らの力があれば、奴らを止めることなんざ。
落ち着きなって。
これが落ち着いてられっか。
Oof.
くそ、お前らがやんねえなら俺が。
You will.
ダメだよ。
Oh, you can't.
息吹、どうしてなんだ。
Yeah.
待っているんだ。
Waiting.
待っている。何をだ。
答えが出る。
Good answer. What? Yeah, they're waiting for us.
Yuga,
ああ、悪い。昔思い出していた。
The special child.
新たな害獣が運び込まれるのをなぜ止めないのか。最初はイブ、モラビアたちに詰め寄った。
Moravia. Yeah, we're not getting confused. We're not getting suspicious at all.
だが、あくまでも隠れて暮らしている自分たちの住処がバレちゃ厄介だから手を出さずにいたんだと。その一件で俺はようやく理解した。モラビアと雪並みは環境適応プロジェクトの成功作で、害獣はその失敗作だったってことを。
Yeah, even Moravia, yeah.
Failures? I was shocked, but at the same time, I could believe it.
増え続ける失敗作はこのコロニーに廃棄される。だから定期的に増えていたんだ。
Yikes.
They were treated like objects. I couldn't find words. Failures, dumped, they were living things. It was simply horrific.
研究者時代はあえて考えないようにしていた環境適応プロジェクトの裏を自分自身が害獣になって初めて知ったんだ。
Yeah.
皮肉なもんだぜ。
I was still trying to process everything I just learned. My heart was pounding. But it's all true? If there are so many vectors being created, then people must be disappearing in large groups. How did they grab that many people without anyone noticing?
お前は誤解してるみてえだが、別に街中から一般市民をさらってきて実験に使ってるわけじゃねえ。さすがにそんな大胆なことをしてたら、いくらもみ消そうったって無理があるからな。
What did Hugo mean by that? If they weren't using citizens as guinea pigs, then... So that would mean...
環境適応プロジェクトでは、胎児の遺伝子を操作してるらしい。
Genetic engineering.
なんて噂を研究エリアにいた頃に聞いたことがある。選考基準なんかは知らねえが、要するに、被験者は生まれる前からその運命が決まっていて、一度も人間として一般社会に出ることはない。
We were actually created by like normal baby making. We were just the child of two test subjects. So our parents were test tube babies, but we weren't. We were a normal baby.
そんな人間ならいくらいなくなったところで誰も気づかないってわけだ。
I was in disbelief. Not only were these people now vectors, they never had a chance at a free life to begin with. Yeah.
だ、胸くそ悪い。自分で話してて自分で嫌になってきたぜ。そういうところも人間は嫌いなんだ。
I felt like vomiting. I had no idea such terrible things were happening within the walls of the colony I grew up in. I lived my life in blissful ignorance. I detested the researchers. How dare they believe their work actually benefited normal citizens like me?
おそらく環境適応プロジェクトは手探り状態の研究なんだろうな。だから失敗が多い。モラビアと雪並みみたいな例は特別なんだ。雪並みとモラビアに助けられた時のことを前に話しただろう。俺はモラビアの遺伝情報を元に作った抗体で一命を取り留めた。俺が完全な害獣にならずに済んだのはモラビアの抗体を取り込んだおかげだ。あいつの抗体には害獣化を止める作用がある。
Because Moravia is a successful test subject?
そうだ。抗体の件ではっきりした。
Okay.
モラビアは限りなく害獣に近い存在でありながら、害獣にはなりきらない特別な存在だ。
Does that mean Lisa's antibody shot was made of Moravia's genes too?
いや、あれはお前のだ。
What? Yeah. I looked at Hugo in surprise. He met my eyes with sadness in his gaze.
まだ気がつかないのか。お前自身の奇妙な点に。
Yep, we're unusual. I'm unusual? Moravia and I have something in common. She can make antibodies to block the vector transformation, and it seems I can too. Moravia is practically a vector herself, and I have something in common with her. Wait. Terror washed over me as everything fell into place. Does that mean I'm part vector too? I trembled as I looked to Hugo for an answer. He turned away, but I saw the pity in his eyes.
違うとは言えないし、そうとも言えない。お前は俺と違うからな。
I can't say you're wrong, but I can't say you're right. You're definitely not like me.
There was deep sadness in Hugo's last remark.
なあ、超能力をどう思う？普通に考えりゃそれも随分特殊なもんじゃねえのか？
Hugo seemed to know a lot more than me. I initially thought he wasn't privy to any secrets, but I was
rethinking that position.
Huh? Yeah, kinda unusual, I guess.
そんな稀有な力を持ち、モラビアや雪並みと対等に渡り合うお前たち、ブルームズのメンバーが環境適応プロジェクトと無関係だと思うか？
Oh, yeah. He was right. The idea of us being connected made a lot of sense now. And the commander once told me the blooms are under the research district's jurisdiction. Yeah, more similar to Moravia. Then we're also products of Project Enviro adaptation, but instead of turning into vectors, we got superpowers. But even as I said it, something didn't make sense. Okay, oh, but hold on. I don't know about the others, but my power didn't awaken until I was scratched by a vector. When I consider that, I don't think I was part of the research after all.
それがお前の一番おかしなところだ。
Maybe.
害獣に襲われた人間は害獣になるはずだ。なのにお前は抗体を打たれたわけでもないのに 害獣にはならず
The
超能力に目覚めた。
Tao might be a lesbian paradise. I started to realize what Hugo was getting at. Right, I was actually just wondering about that myself recently. The commander of the Blooms wasn't surprised when that scratch awakened my power. Yeah, lesbian furry paradise. I just figured it was all business as usual for him. I never thought about it on any kind of a deeper level.
その指令も何か知ってた上でお前に黙ってた可能性があるな。とんだ食わせもんだぜ。モラビアもお前の特殊性を知ったからなのかはわからねえが、お前のことを特別だと言っていた。だからこそあの野郎を使ってお前の検体を手に入れて抗体を作ったんだ。
Gotcha. That's what happened. That bozo? I looked at Hugo quizzically. I wasn't sure who he meant.
あいつだ。りょう。
Man, he doesn't even like saying his name. I decided to leave that point alone for now. Hyuga had said something more important. Antibodies. You mean my blood, right? There was a point where Ryo treated a wound I got. Was that when he...
Yeah, nope.
手当て。あいつにさせたのか。
Why'd you even let him near you? Oh, jeez, he was perfectly fine.
Hugo's eyes narrowed, but I wasn't sure why. I told him exactly what happened. Yeah, he patched me up after a fight.
そうかよ。
He seems upset? He must really hate Ryo. What the fuck is going on with Ryo?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I made a mental note to avoid mentioning Ryo in front of Hyuga.
Ryo was full of mysteries, yes, but apparently so was I. So what am I exactly? Well, we know. I mumbled the question to myself, but Hyuga picked up on it.
モラビアに聞けば、もしかしたらよく知っているかもしれねえ。
Uh-huh.
だが、俺でもはっきり言えることがある。俺もお前も、そしてブルームズの奴らも、
Oh.
みんな害獣になってもおかしくなかった存在だってことだ。
What?
それが害獣と一緒になって人間を襲う側と、
Oh, we were
害獣を
all...
倒す側に回って戦い続けてきた。
Oh, we were all at risk. I thought he said we are all at risk. And I was like, still? No.
研究者は自分たちの手で害獣を生み出し、身勝手に廃棄しておきながら、襲ってきた害獣を返り討ちにするための特務部隊を作っておいた。
Kitty.
とんだ自作自演だ。どちらも研究者たちの手のひらの上で踊らされてたようなもんだって思わないか？
The sweet little kitty, sweet little kitty, come here. Go get a pet. Pet. Oh, what a good girl.
Alright, where are we now? We in 4-2 yet? No, we're still in 4-1. Oh my god. We might...
Yeah, exactly. Don't be fussy. Stop being fussy.
Oh my god, I think we might get to a stopping point and then call it and finish the last things of this route next time.
We'll see. Yeah, he might be onto something. I should have felt angry, but instead I felt hopeless. Yuka's right, we were used as pawns to clean up the failed experiments the researchers dumped here. I thought I was fighting for the good of humanity. When I think about what I was really doing, I felt foolish for ever considering myself an ally of justice, and the commander had strung us all along. I'd never believe a word from him again. Yeah, we've gotten quite a lot of info, and we've got a nice Hyuga. When I think about how similar defectors I really am, I feel silent. Hyuga watched me intently, his eyes filled with sympathy and concern.
どうだ？研究者たちを憎む気になったか？
His question prompted me to examine my feelings. But everything in my head was so muddled because a million emotions were battling each other. I couldn't find words to express myself. Based on what I've heard, it's clear why Hyuga has sympathy for me. But I do hate the research. But do I hate the researchers? I'm still not sure, but I definitely want retribution. Testing on humans is wrong, period. Anyone who does that shouldn't get away with it. Dark emotions started to billow up through me. The commander said he worked for the research district as well. In other words, he was far more involved with the secret stuff than the Blooms were. He knew everything, and still he made us fight. Yeah, he's a bit of a weirdo, but I trusted him. Well, we know from Ibuki's route that we can trust him. Just, How could their researchers act so inhumanely? Yeah. I can see how that... Yeah. True. But I can't see how that would be something where you're like, is it like a voice changer or something? Hugo looked away when he heard my question.
連中はひどいなんざ思ってねえんだ。だから被験者に対しても冷酷になれる。俺自身研究者だったから少しは理解できる。
Hugo's got a unique perspective.
時に研究が優先順位の一番上になる。それこそ人間としての情や良識、倫理なんてもんは研究のためならどうでもよくなっちまうこともある。特に環境適応プロジェクトに関わるような優秀な研究者はその傾向が強いだろうな。
You weren't like them though?
Hugo shook his head.
俺はそこまで優秀じゃなかったんでな。
I suspected Hugo was being modest, but at the same time I was relieved. So Hugo wasn't that kind of researcher. Then I thought of something. I wonder what kind of research my mother and father did. Were they also involved with Project ENViro adaptation?
More than you know, sweetheart. More than you know.
Despite our conversation about research, I never thought to ask about my parents until now. After all, I do next to nothing about them.
どうした?
It's nothing. I decided not to bring up my parents. I didn't want to get off topic. The Project ENViro adaptation researchers were wrong, and they shouldn't get away with waving away their ethics. But maybe the researchers had different intentions at first. Maybe even the commander was under orders not to tell me the truth about Lise. If that's so, I can't really blame him. I was still beyond confused, but at least I felt like I was finally equipped to try and make sense of my feelings.
Yeah, that's a question for another route.
I didn't feel angry. I don't feel angry, I'm just sad. Oh, speaking of, that's a question for another route. So there's a MatPat cameo in the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Here's the thing, I don't know what the fuck he looks like. So I had no idea when it was, where he was, or who he was. Like, I know who he is, but I didn't know who he was in the movie. And I was like, okay. So on the car ride back, with my Earth, yeah, that's him. I was on the ride back, and I looked over at my my Earth brother, and I was like, "There's a MatPat cameo in this movie. Where the fuck is he? Like, where was he?" And my brother looked at me. He's like, "There's a dude at the diner who says." You know, he's like, you know, they say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, but that's just a theory. He's like, he literally said the line, and I'm like, oh, it didn't connect in my brain. It didn't connect. I just thought this guy was weird. I was just moving on with my life like, okay, this one character in the movie is a little weird. He's there for like one scene, and maybe like a couple minutes of the scene. Yeah, exactly. He's a server at a diner. And he's like, are you ready for lunch? Lunch is the most important meal of the day. And they're like, isn't that breakfast? And he's like, well, that's just a theory. So, like, I didn't even actually see his face. I was busy looking at other things in the movie, in that scene. I wasn't looking at that dude's face. I don't even know what MatPat looks like. So, yeah. That's a question for another route. I don't know why that brought my brain to that, but yeah. Back to the game. I finally landed on a firm answer. Hugo nodded, encouraging me to continue. The researchers sacrificing humans for their cause only for them to make vectors? It's depressing, to say the least. How could they treat fellow human beings like lab animals? I can't understand it. Now that I know everything, what was behind making us fight the vectors, I just want to know what it was all for. Yeah, I think they're part of what, like, got it super duper, what helped make it super duper popular. But that question comes from a place of sadness more than anger.
So ka.
Hugo nodded and smiled, though his eyes were still sad.
お前はどこまでもまっすぐで、俺と同じにはならないんだな。
I was surprised at how disappointed he sounded. Did you want me to nurse hatred and resentment? Did you want us to be the same? Anyone else? Yeah. You wish I felt the same as you?
Huh? No. Yeah.
Yuka seemed to realize at that moment that his choice of words was odd. But would you be happier if I did? Yeah.
どうなんだろうな。
バカ。
も
うるさい。
う俺にもよくわからねえ。お前が俺と同じにならなくて安堵してるのか残念なのか。いや、俺は何を言ってんだろうな。
Yeah, true, you weren't.
さっきの発言は忘れろ。俺もどうかしてたんだ。
Yuka stopped talking and got up from his chair.
病み上がりなのに話し込んで悪かったな。今日はもう休む。
When I realized Yuka was about to leave, I grabbed his hand out of reflex.
おい。
Sorry. I have no idea why I did that. Why did I grab him? I let go and looked away.
別に謝ることはねえ。まだ何かあるのか？
Yeah, just one thing before you go. It's my parents. I decided to bring them up after all. Yuka's expression grew inquisitive.
お前の親？
They died when I was young. I have no memories of them. The person who's watched over me this whole time, he told me my parents worked in the research district.
なんだって？
I have no idea what kind of research they did, but since you also worked there, I was wondering if you ever came across them? Their names were Togo and Sana Takanashi. Do they sound familiar? I hoped beyond hope, but Hyuga shook his head regretfully.
高梨か。悪い。俺は聞いたことねえな。そもそも、お前がガキの頃に死んだって言うなら、俺が研究エリアで働くようになった頃には、すでにいなかったはずだしな。
Oh, right. You've got a point.
にしても、研究者を親に持つお前が、最近になって超能力に目覚めたってのは、
Yeah, good point. You have a
引っ
point.
かかるものがあるが。
Strange coincidence.
お前が気になるなら、俺の方で心当たりを当たってみるか。
I thought for a moment, but decided against it. Thanks, but I think I'm fine for now. I might want to find the truth someday, but right now I feel like I have more important things to deal with. Yuka seemed to respect my decision. He reached out to lightly stroke my hair.
そうか。気が変わったらいつでも言えよ。
Aww.
さて、すっかり長居しちまったな。俺はもう帰る。
Yeah,
と言っ
exactly.
ても、同じ建物の中だが。
Oh, we live in the same building. Yay, head pats. Yuka gathered up the mugs and prepared to make his exit. Sorry to keep you here for so long, but thanks. Thanks for telling me so much.
じゃあな。ゆっくり休めよ。
Head pats! Woohoo! Head pats! And with that, he gave me a warm smile and turned to leave. Once Hugo left, the room became silent still once again. I'm wiped out. But it's more of a mental exhaustion than physical. Blessings. I'd absorbed a lot of information at once. I was shocked. My brain and heart both felt like they were in disarray. But I didn't regret finding out the truth. That alone was worth chasing down Hyuga and getting injured. But this whole matter of how I came to be... Hyuga had certainly given me a lot of information, but now I just had more questions that needed answers. I still know nothing about my mom and dad. Maybe my unusual traits are somehow linked to them and their work. I'd always been able to email Uncle Yashima with questions, but that wasn't possible right now. I had no choice but to drop the issue. I guess people in Theta regard me as a missing person now. If they find out I'm in the Vector colony, they'll probably assume I've defected and I'm now siding with the enemy. I stopped my thoughts from going any further down that path. Yeah, it's not like thinking any more would help. I'd just work myself up and probably get a fever. I want to think about something else. Hyuga's face rose up in my mind. He'd showed me his kind side, which was so different from how he presented himself at first. Recalling Hyuga's smile made me smile a little to myself in turn. Hyuga's a kind person, but his heart's filled with bitter hate for humanity. I could still see Hyuga staring down his former colleagues just before rage overtook him. He'd had every intent to kill them. But even if he'd managed to go through with it, it wouldn't have brought him any satisfaction. His heart would be cold and hollow. That's how I saw things anyway. Oh, excuse me. Nothing like me. I repeated Hyuga's words out loud. Why is Hyuga so fixated on the ways that I'm different from him? Before that, he'd also said something like, "You're like us, sure, but you're also different." It was more like he was implying he wishes I were more like him. But I'd pushed myself to the limit, and I drifted off into slumber. Well, I think... Yeah, he wants to become a magical girl too. I think this is the perfect spot to stop. We just started 4-2, and then we will find out which end we're going to get, which, based on our status, we're going to get the good end. We're going straight for the good end. So yeah. Yeah, 0 sync rate. Okay, so you have to have 0 sync rate, because if you have the sync rate up, then you get the normal end. Just like if you have your powers up on the hero route, you get a normal end. It's annoying. Yeah. But yeah, let's pop over here. You all know the usual song and dance. If you're not already following me on social medias, I would appreciate it very much if you would. And yeah, tomorrow we will be playing 13 Sentinels. Thank you so much for stopping by, Zizika. I appreciate it so much. Yeah, tomorrow we'll be playing 13 Sentinels. Yeah, I will probably be watching back my most recent stream of 13 Sentinels, which was like 3 months ago. Good meowing, Jigglypuff. I hope you have a wonderful meowing. But yes, I hope everybody has a wonderful meowing afternoon, evening, whatever time it is for you. And thank you all so much for being here. And, well, without any further ado, bye-bye!